I have been in development with my game for 3 years and a whole lot has changed and some things have stayed the same. But I thought it'd be really nice to look back at what I've learnt over those 3 years and things that I think I could do better. So I have 4 points. I'll bookmark each section and they are game design slash game development, project management, growth pipeline, and marketing, every indie dev's favorite thing. So game design and game development is something that in our game, Lighthaze World, I feel like we really mucked this up at the start. This was probably one of the worst things that we did in our game. We took a year to actually settle on the design that we liked. Basically what happened was we built a character. We said, oh yeah, that looks pretty good. And then we decided we'd just use Unity terrain to make the scenes and that would be all nice and easy. And it wasn't. It was terrible. It's actually hard to be really precise with Unity terrain. And we were really trying to go for more of a cozy vibe at the start and less of a low poly vibe, but we could not achieve the look that we were trying to do, like Animal Crossing. We couldn't get that because that involves texture painting every model with the only Liam doing most of the art and I'm helping with the design. There's just not enough people to texture paint all of these models. So understanding what our capabilities were was something that we really missed at the start. And trying to overachieve with what the amount of people we had was something that we did at the start as well. After about a year, we decided that everything was unachievable and we rolled back our vision and we started with a more low poly look. And we did want some texture painting still, so we did texture paint the ground. It just looked a little bit too flat having the ground as one color. And I'm really happy with the results. And it looks cuter and more cozy than I probably expected it to look. A lot of low poly games can sometimes look a little bit too rigid. But yeah, I think we did get that. We achieved that too with some smooth shading on our characters and some other models in the game. So we tried to use AI to help us speed up the process. That really doesn't work. I think AI is good for giving you ideas, maybe a starting point. If you can't think of something for yourself, we would Google it. Sometimes it didn't have what we wanted, so then we would just get AI to go, hey, here's an idea. And then we go, that's kind of what we're looking for. Let's make one of those. Another thing we did to save on time, and this might sound crazy, using Tasmania to model our game made things a little bit easier because I could say to Liam, hey, I want to put that bridge into the game over this gully here. And he would go get some photos of that bridge and he could just make a bridge. Like he knew what the bridge looked like. Sometimes the thinking part takes longer than the doing part. So having all this inspiration around you and not taking that on board can slow you down. And with the coding side of things, to make things faster, I found very fast that I needed to organize my scripts and know what script was doing what. There's something you don't realize when you start making a game, and that is project management. The game, most people think a game is just you're making a game, like it's fun and games, but you really have to manage it and know what you're doing and why you're doing it and what goals you're trying to achieve, milestones, that type of thing. When we first started the game, we were just making a game and floating along, and we didn't have these milestones. And that's good because at the start of a game, everyone's kind of got energy and you don't need to kind of plan that much, so you think. But as you get into the middle hump of a game, you're kind of wanting to know where you're going with this, and I think you lose your way a little bit. We were getting a little bit lost, I think, in the middle of the game project. Are we going to finish this? What are we going to do with the game? And so having a plan, and things can change in a plan. So you don't have to be, oh, it's going to be released on this date because you've made this. Things can change, but having a plan of what you're trying to do really does help progress things, and it breaks things down into smaller segments so you can understand what you've achieved. You feel like you're actually getting somewhere. If you look at it as a whole, it becomes way too big and way too much for most people to comprehend. Also, having milestones really does help motivate you. Oh, we're 50% through the project according to my project plan is a big motivating factor. The project plan comes in handy when you start getting into what I call the growth pipeline.
Hi, I'm Anthony from Radio Bush.
And this is something I didn't expect. It's because most people think a game is just a game. I didn't think I would actually grow as much as I did in this game. So alongside the project, there was actually parts where I actually grew into being the game developer that I am now. Moments like when I was at Gamescom in Asia, I was on stage talking in front of all these people. I did that because I had a game behind me that made me worth something to the audience. The audience wouldn't have turned up to see me if I didn't have a game that people knew about. By doing that, I met a lot of other people backstage that I would never have met, like the CEO of Sony. That is the kind of thing that you only get to chat to those people when you start growing yourself. Also, in this growth pipeline that I talk about is we went for funding and we got funding from Screen Australia. That was because we had a project plan, showed our path to finishing the game. We know what we're doing, and getting that funding has really helped us focus harder on making the game. I think if you don't think that you're going to grow as a person, and you need to understand that the game gets bigger than you, you have to kind of catch up a little bit along the way. 3 years, and all of a sudden, I was never expecting my little indie game to have and helped introduce me to as many people as I was going to get introduced to, and open different doors that I didn't know existed, let alone happen.
So tell me about Nim's designs.
And then every indie dev's favorite part, the marketing. And we all love marketing. But as you can see, I've structured this video to explain project management, growth pipeline, and now we're at marketing. And marketing is at the end now because that comes from all of those above. When we started thinking about our design, we started thinking about how we were going to market the game, and we needed to have a look that was unique enough that people would be interested at least to look at our game. So something we identified in project management is when we were going to start marketing things like release dates, timelines, things like that you can put into your project management plan, that they all kind of go together. Marketing shouldn't be looked at as just, I've got to go onto Twitter and post about my game. If you look at it like that, it's never going to work. You need to look at marketing as a holistic approach. Everything's done for a reason, and you've got to work out what a good time to do that is. Again, growth pipeline ties into this because if we didn't go to our game conventions, we wouldn't have learnt as much about our demographic as if we did go to these game conventions. So game conventions were really good at giving us demographics. Games conventions were really good at meeting media type people and streamers and everyone like that. We were getting information back as well as giving information out. Game conventions also helped the game grow because it gave us feedback on what was not working in the game and what people didn't like about the game and what people did like about the game, which is really, really important. Take that information and put that into how can we show people this? Now, I go on Twitter and I can go on Blue Sky, and LinkedIn is actually as amazing too. If you're not using LinkedIn, that's a hot tip. But they're for meeting game developers, publishers, and probably your super fans, but they're not going to be people until the game's released. So I would recommend that all those three are not the greatest at sharing about your game. I use the information that I've got from game conventions to go and make portrait videos. I make little shorts that I put on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. I release them every couple of days, and I'm getting views on every platform, like thousands and thousands of views. And I don't have big accounts, but people are seeing these videos and they are aware of the game. You're trying to bring awareness to your game. You're not trying to sell people a game. And as much as I want people to wishlist my game, if I just toe the line of, hey, go and wishlist my game in every single video, it doesn't work because people just go, oh, you're so boring. I don't want to put up with you.
I got my son to test our game the other day.
But I don't think it's a good idea to sleep at the back.
It only took him 5 minutes till he found the bugs.
Yeah, I'm stuck in the water.
Kids are great.
People want some fun, or they want some learning, things like that from these videos. Then they start having a connection with the game and me, and they start wanting to be a part of the journey of Lighthaze World. So go and wishlist it now. Sorry, I had to throw that in. That's the whole marketing strategy in a nutshell. You're not doing it to just try and push people to your game straight away. You've got to build a community that people want to be involved in. And then good things happen. For example, I have streamers contact me because they see the TikToks, they see the Instagram posts, and they contact me, hey, tell me about your game, blah, blah, blah. Had the newspaper contact me to get information. Don't stress necessarily if you're not reaching just gamers. You might reach these other people that can then help promote you and your game more. That's one thing that I learned that really was surprising, how once you start getting this community together, people start trying to help out and it becomes bigger and bigger. Thank you for watching. Definitely subscribe. Write some comments if you want some more information, or join our Discord. I'm always happy to chat in there, and talk to you guys sometime soon. Bye.